Hey guys, just finished watching The Flash, Season 4, Episode 1, The Flash Reborn. And this episode was pretty interesting. It was a pretty cool episode. You know, them trying to figure out how to bring Barry back and all that stuff. And that was pretty interesting seeing how that played along into the episode. It's going to be interesting to see what the fallout is for this show. I feel like it would be really cool to see where things go with this show and how, and obviously I've been with it for a while, but to see where things go with this season, how this seems like there has to be a little bit more left, side effects from him being in there, and they haven't asked him, like they've been saying throughout the episode, it's only been 6 months to everyone else, to us, the viewers, to the people, to Iris and all them, in Central City and stuff, that he's been gone. But to him, how long was it there? Was he in there like 10,000 years, a million years, a billion years, trillion years, whatever, you know what I mean? What was that like for him? He doesn't remember it right now, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how things kind of come out every time he goes through things. Maybe when he's fighting different robots the Tinkerer throws at him, which is the Tinkerer throughout this season, which looks pretty interesting. I haven't read anything about Tinkerer in the comic books or anything like that, so it's going to be interesting to see where things go with it here. But it's going to be fun to see where things go, and hopefully things come back. I mean, I feel like the things that Barry was drawing, there wasn't just scribbles, it wasn't just nonsense, it wasn't just anything. I feel like it has to be something, even if it comes back later on, he figures it out what it was or something like that. I think that would be interesting to see, and have things, maybe flashbacks or things, and be more than just, Iris, snaps him out of it, end of story, never touch it back again. It's like, what was the point of putting him in there? In the first place, there was you need to have some sort of fallout from from last season. There has to be, has to affect him going into the rest of this season. So, I mean, it was kind of cheesy type thing for him for her to be the one like, I'm gonna rest my life and that'll snap him out of it type thing. But I mean, that's what happens in these superhero shows. But I would like to see more to it and delve into it a little bit more. So that would be cool to see where things go with that. Now getting to other characters like Caitlin Snow, that is where I really am interested. I definitely can't wait to see that. I'd like to see that play up a little bit more. You get teases to where things are going, and all the Marvel references in this. Wow, with Cisco saying Excelsior and her saying, don't get me angry, you don't like me, or don't get me frosty, you won't like me when I'm frosty type of thing. Like, oh my god, the Marvel references. Was this episode? Oh, it was written by directed by Glenn Winter. Who wrote this episode? Let's see if we can see who wrote this episode here on IMDb. Casting, production, written, directed. Who wrote it? Writer. Come on. Doesn't say who wrote this episode. Here on IMDb. I guess Glenn Winters wrote it or something. I don't know. But it is interesting, like I said, with all these Marvel references and seeing Caitlin Snow being kind of like the Hulk, where, she gets mad, she turns into Caitlin Snow, but she's kind of able to control it. And I like the way she's able to kind of like, she's able to just kind of force Killer Frost down and into there. And I feel like that's eventually going to explode out, but just kind of getting a bit of a lid on Killer Frost. I think that's going to be cool to see how that goes, and playing with, maybe someone finds out, about her not having entire control, but a little bit of control of it. I mean, it's kind of like the Hulk effect, where when Killer Frost is in there, is in the driver's seat, she doesn't have control, but she is able to, when it's over, she's able to just push it down and stuff like that once she's, stopped doing her thing and stuff. She's able to push it down, and that's interesting that she has the hair changes with that too. That's kind of interesting idea how that works or something like that. It gets like a split personality disorder type thing. I kind of like that effect for her, so it's gonna be really fun to see that. And part of me was thinking is trying to figure out. Hopefully they do talk about it though. Whoever she's gotten messed up with, why was she gone for 6 months? Like, now they answered it by all that, because at first I was just like, what? She was gone for 6 months? There's no explanation, and then they explained it at the end with, she's having trouble controlling Killer Frost, and that's why she doesn't want to be around anyone she knows and stuff. So I think it's going to be interesting to see, or on the Caitlin Frost side, I'm really interested to see where that goes. to see who she was hanging out with, who was that guy talking about, and stuff like that. I think that's going to be really cool to see things like that, and I think it would be interesting to see that and play with that. I mean, what if that other person she was talking about, what if that other person was Black Siren over on Arrow and stuff like that? I think that could be a cool, like, she has a bunch of people doing stuff, she's starting to do things, and she knows that all of her characters, the only people left, maybe, since we haven't seen Arrow yet, would be the Flash team is the only people he has left. Because, let's assume that everyone dies on that thing, which we know that everyone dies, but let's say most of them die on the island. Who does Oliver go to cry on? He doesn't have anyone to go cry on their shoulder or anything like that, but he has the entire Flash crew and stuff like that. So I think that could be a cool, she's trying to play that and kind of be part of that or something like that. But I have a feeling it's probably going to be a little bit more, maybe she's going to have some sort of connection to the Tinkerer or something like that. But I think it would be cool to see some sort of secret, connection between the two villains over on Flash and Arrow. That could be really cool, even if they were just kind of, maybe the Tinkerer is hiring, Black Siren or things like that, or they're just on each other's wavelength or things like that. I think that could be cool. Not to actually see each other cross over, maybe it would be 1 or 2 episodes, but just kind of texting each other, calling each other on the phone and things like that, or just mentioning each other's names to say that they're in league without actually seeing them together and stuff like that. I think that could be a cool way to connect both shows and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be cool to see where things go with that. And I definitely can't wait to see more with this Killer Frost and, Caitlin split personality disorder type thing. That's going to be really fun to see that. And like I said, I'd like to see more on Barry and what the effects are of him being in there, and how long was he in there, or how much stuff did happen to him, what exactly happened to him down there. I'd like to see, PTSD from this. I'd like to see, flashbacks of it. If he starts fighting different droids or androids or robots or things that the Tinkerer throws at him, which I hope it's not just a different robot every time. That's going to get boring. I mean, robots, yeah, you did robot, now go and do something else. Have him, have the Tinkerer use a measuring human out there, and things like that, and have it be very different each time and stuff like that, instead of it being the same, throwing like with all the speedsters, it was just run. This needs to be, can't just be throwing different robots. It has to be different, a robot there, and then maybe you have, he hires someone to try and do something, and he manipulates someone to try and do this or do that. I think that could be pretty cool, seeing that in different aspects, and really have him think real hard and really outthink everyone in the audience type of thing. So I think it's really going to be cool to see how this goes with this Tinkerer. And I think there's potential with this, but there's also an easy route of just throwing robots at them every episode. So I really can't wait to see what the writers do with this villain for this season. We'll just have to wait and see where things go with there. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. What's your favorite part? And what do you think about all this? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.